Shit. It's about to go down. Well, I mean, look at that. Look at that beard. Look at that beard. It is majestic. I am jealous. I wish I could have a beard like that. I mean, like, this is straight up, like, you know, motherfucker from Tinkertown, straight out of World of Warcraft. Like, I'm gonna fucking beat your ass and then give you the clamps. He's gonna give me the clamps. I know he is. Anyway, time to play some Overwatch. So first off, just first impressions, loading up the menu, or loading up the game, rather. I liked it. You know, it looked good. It looked clean. This was actually, this Toborn character is the guy that I was like, oh man, like that's the guy I want to play. And I just noticed that giant robot walking in the background of the character select screen when you actually pick somebody. I just noticed that. Yeah, look at him. Look at him. He's just fucking walking back there, like ready to beat somebody up. Anyway, so first impressions, you know, honestly, the game seemed really cool just from the menus alone. It seemed pretty simplistic, pretty easy to understand. The character select thing kind of threw me off for a little bit of a loop, but once I realized I was being stupid, then it, you know, kind of made sense. The characters all look pretty clean from what I saw. I didn't see any issues with them. You know, it was pretty easy to understand. The menu was pretty self-explanatory. You had, you know, your play options. The only thing I didn't like about it, honestly, was the quick play option. You see me kind of going right now trying to find a game mode. The quick play was kind of weird. Normally I think quick play and I'm like, oh, okay, it's, you know, it's just going to put me in a game and that's it. And, you know, I'm done. But, you know, and then it's going to jump me back out later. It's not going to put me in a full-fledged lobby. But, you know, it's whatever. It's just naming and, you know, it's my own personal preference. I like the fact that it gave you that tutorial pop-up, and I love the fact that it almost immediately put me right in the game. That was one thing that Titanfall, the guys over at Titanfall, did extremely well, was putting you in the game as fast as humanly possible, which was awesome. I also, this character select that you just saw, I love that character select screen. It lets you pick who you want to be, and it lines everybody out in a very nice fashion. Tells you who your tanks are, who your DPS is, who your support classes are, and who your healing classes are. I love that. This pre-lobby thing you got going on is just waiting for all the characters to load and everyone to select their character. So you're not like locked in right out the bat. As you can see, you can hold X. I'm playing an Xbox, so you can hold X to change. I assume, you know, it'll be probably square for PlayStation. But yeah, so I love this little pre-menu thing. It's kind of like, and I've noticed, and I don't know if it's designed this way, but I've noticed that, I guess if not everyone's picked or whatever, right here it's going to activate the objective. I don't know if it's going to put us back or not, but every now and then what will happen is it'll kind of let you run around the map, check out everything, see where everything is, and then it'll like put us back into the lobby, into the starting zone where we have to wait for the timer to go again. One thing that I can think of is that it basically, like, it started and then I guess the other team didn't have enough people or whatever, so it does do some really nice balancing and some nice matching right off the bat and on the fly. The map, as you can see, is very extensive. It's not very linear. It's a fairly grid map with a bunch of different paths and mazes to go, allowing you to kind of, like, you know, flank opponents and stuff like that. Now, this isn't the only map. Like I said, if you haven't played it, there's plenty of maps, and I think it comes live this month on the 27th. Yeah, the maps are all fairly extensive, and they give you the ability to kind of flank very nicely, which is awesome. You know, that's one thing I dislike about some maps in some games is that, you know, it's very linear and it's very, you know, you're locked in on one path, this progressive path that you have to go, and I dislike that. It's just not as good as it could be, and so I love the fact that what Blizzard did here is, you know, they gave you all this extensive route at which you could go. But yeah, you know, it's a very clean. I didn't find any issues with it. I didn't obviously just like jump around the map trying to test everything. I'm sure if I had played the tutorial, I would have gotten a better understanding of the class. But you know, balls out. We don't do tutorials up in here, just at all. Fuck tutorials. It's not how I do things. I just go balls out and go in. But yeah, see, as you can see, like my teammates are over here to the left hitting them, and I flank them from the right, which is awesome. I love that. It gives you the chance to, you know, obviously change your character whenever you want. And as you can see, everything's kind of balanced. At least I felt everything just kind of seemed really, really balanced and really thought of, really thoughtfully planned. I'm not like this overpowered class being a defensive class. I'm not super overpowered. My character does have the ability to wreck people, but I'm not going to go in just all out by myself, and no one character is just going to be able to just stomp an entire team very easily. Now there's a caveat to that, and it might be the DPS classes, or the snipers, I think is what they're called in this game. Those guys, depending on which one you are, might be able to just instantly destroy you. There's two classes I'm thinking of. One is like this Robin Hood dude.
Damn. He just one-shotted my shit.
Just ultimately, just wrecked my shit. Just utterly destroyed me. So it's a 6v6 map, 6v6 play style every single time. Now you can obviously go into a custom game and change that if you want and play with your friends and play against bots. But if you're going to play just quick match, it's 6v6 all the time. The balancing is really nice. Like I said, like that's a tank class right there that me and some other dude destroyed. But even by myself, even with this dwarf by myself, I could easily destroy him. So no one class is super overpowered that it can just roll through the others, which is one thing that I found, with some Blizzard games that was a thing, was that it was very hard to balance, and it seems like they did a really good job of balancing that out. Like it kind of plays a little bit like League of Legends meets Team Fortress 2. It's actually kind of a Team Fortress 2 more so than anything else, but it plays a lot like a mixture of the two. And one thing that's also interesting is this voting system. You can actually vote for who you thought did a better job, and it actually does impact your XP and stuff like that. So it's an interesting concept. Now, one thing that kind of I want to touch on that's kind of wonky to me, and I'm hoping kind of gets fixed, and maybe it won't, is that with the whole 6v6 team, which is fine. 6v6 sounds like a pretty good sized team. The downside to it, in my opinion, is that what if Destiny had an issue with the 6-man fire teams. Well, what if I can't find 6 people to play with, or really, I guess 5 people to play with? It feels a lot like, and there's a game that I played in the beta there's a couple games actually that I played like that it felt like if I had a more organized team, we would have won, but I didn't, and subsequently I lost because of it, and my team lost because of it. And that's one thing that I'm a little bit worried about, is that with a 6v6 team, now maybe it'll be overcome with voice chat, but with a 6v6 team, trying to find 5 other guys to play with and consistently win, I think is going to be an issue. Now it doesn't really hinder your ability to have fun, even though I was losing that match, those couple matches, like the entire time. I think I was like one of the only 2 people in the game at that point. It didn't matter. It still was fun, so it's not like it's going to impact your ability to have fun and play. But it's something that I would like to see. Is maybe have like a smaller game mode, maybe at the and maybe there might be an update or some kind of like DLC, maybe not DLC, but like an update later on, where they'll add more game modes that you can do, like a 2v2 kind of like arena style, or a 4v4 game mode or something like that. Just make it a little bit smaller, make it easier to play with your friends, kind of like how Halo did, your big team battles, and then you have your smaller game matches, and then you have like your team battles where it's just like 4v4. So that would be nice to see something like that. Now, if they don't, it's fine. It's not like it's going to be a terrible deal breaker or anything like that, but it's at least something that they could do. It wasn't laggy, or it wasn't buggy or anything like that. I don't know if other people had a different experience, and by all means, put a comment if you had a different experience with it. But I didn't have any issues with it. I didn't have any problems at all. It was pretty straightforward. It was clean. I had no issues whatsoever, no bugs, no choppiness to it. The frame rate seemed fine. The characters, all their abilities worked. The map was, proper. There wasn't any clipping or anything like that. It didn't fall through the map at any random point in time. You could definitely see esports going into this, and I think that's maybe what they did. Was that I think Blizzard was actually looking for a game that they could integrate into an esports style. Because this is easily, a really good esports style game. So that'd be interesting to see how it progresses into that platform. And I think that's, I think that was their plan, and it's going to go that route. And I hope it does. I really do. I think it'd be really fun to see. Now, like I said, overall, it was just a fun game, so it'd be really cool to see that play out. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, obviously leave a comment and a like on the video. If you did play the beta, leave a comment. Let me know what you guys thought and what your impressions were. how you felt about it, and if you disagree with what I think. If you do, that's fine. And don't forget to sub. New videos coming out every Wednesday and Sunday. Anyway, well, I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys again on Sunday. Later. Peace.